nail sports to the bone. Top blogger, top YouTube channel. No matter which sports, yeah, we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Yes, my people. Welcome back. Welcome back. What is the saying? Another day, another disappointment. Another day, another disappointment. That is how it goes when you're a lover of West Indies cricket, you know? You have to be able to take it a day at a time. You have to be able to take it a day at a time. And, you know, we some say that we hit rock bottom. Some say that it's a disgrace and thing, you know, but I guess it's where our cricket is at. I have always said that, you know, we're not playing in the qualifiers because they are fighting against us. We're not playing in the qualifiers because they are fighting against us. We are playing in the qualifiers because that is the type of cricket that we have been playing, and we didn't deserve to be in the top 8. Don't even know if we need to worry about top 8, because if we cannot beat these teams in the qualifiers, it don't really make any sense we in our top 8 then. Why are we going to try to fight and squeeze through to the next to the World Cup? We're just going to go give away 3 points, man. 3 points. Every team come towards us, they know that it's 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. Anyways, we're going to spend the next 59 minutes. So we're spending an hour today. We're going to spend the hour talking about West Indies cricket and how, you know, how things have gone so far in the qualifiers for us. Also going to be taking a look at the West Indies women. Gonna have to double check to see what the scoreline is like right now. But the last I checked, we were keeping Ireland in balance. You know, we were hunting wickets, but not too sure how that finished. So we're gonna spend some time talking about this West Indies situation here. So don't know. I just came on here, see a couple of comments so far. Remember to share the live, like up the live, so you know it can be pushed out. Whoever, though, some people are not aware that we are going live today, so just like up the video so the algorithm can push out the live. All right, so I'm just gonna go straight into reading comments after I give you a quick rundown of the game. You know, I always like to do that. I always like to give a quick rundown of the game. So West Indies batted first, and we made 374 for 6. Netherlands, they equaled that, 374 for 9, and it went down super over. Netherlands batted first, made 30 without losing a wicket, and we made 8 of 2. 8 for 2. You understand? Batting for us in the first innings there, well, I can call it first innings. Former captain Nicholas Pooran made 104 of 65. Brandon King made 76. Johnson Charles, he made 54. Shamar Brooks made 25. Shea Hope made 47. Jason Holder made 8. Romario Shepherd didn't score. And Kimo Paul, he made 46 not out. So that is how it looked for us. And in terms of the bowling, let me just give it a bowling real quick. We had a couple of guys, you know. We had Raston Chase picking up 3 for 77. We had Akil Hussain getting 2 for 73. Azhar Josie 2 for 73, while Jason Ola was able to get 1 for 59. All of those guys would have bowled 10 overs. So that is what it looked like in the what is it called now? In the super over. Netherlands made 30 off Jason Holder's over. Every ball went to the boundary, either rolled across or over for 6. And then we went out there. Johnson Charles hit the first one for 6, and then we weren't able to do anything further from that. So let me just start going through the comments now, so I can spend most of the time reading for you all right? And don't just stay here and don't just stay here and yap. Let me read your comments. Good afternoon, Sports to the Bone. All right, blessings, Shakir. Blessings. Ted says, I honestly hope West Indies lose the rest of their matches, just so they could be a cleanup from the train and kick half of the team off. I don't even know if that's going to be the case. That is it. I don't even know if they're going to even clean up the train, so to speak. Do you see West Indies going to the World Cup? Oh, he said he don't see the West Indies going to the World Cup. All right. However much lower can we go? Well, how much lower can we go? We have officially reached the bottom. Well, we're at the bottom. We have been at the bottom for a while now. We're just marking our territory. You know, like when a lion or a tiger, in their own space, they mark it so they know that, that's their space. So I guess we are already at rock bottom. So we are just there marking our space to let everybody know that this is ours. Good night, Sports to the Bone. I don't even think I'm surprised when people bad up when we barely beat USA. I did say people need to remember the same associate teams beat us in the World Cup qualifiers last year. Exactly. And that is the thing in a cricket lover. We watch a cricket and understand the cricket, and we see that even though they got past USA and UAE, it wasn't vintage. And when we say, listen, when they come on and say, listen, they won the game, yes, but there were too many errors. They need to do this, they need to do that, or else they're going to struggle against better teams. You hear people talk about leave the team alone, leave the team alone, leave the team, take the win, take the win. That is not how sports work. That is not how sports work. You understand? If that was how sports work, people wouldn't improve. They would do the same thing every day. No matter if you win, there's always room for improvement. You understand? When Usain Bolt first broke the record and run, I think it was 9.6 something. He didn't settle it. He continued training. And at that time, he was far better than everybody else. And he was able to lower it to 9.58. So you are winning. It doesn't mean that you are fixed. You must stop. So I can understand how people argue the cricket, yeah, man. Some people in another live, they may be soon. Oh, okay, that's nice. I mean, once it is out there, so once they see it, if they want to come on, they will come. The fact that these associate nations don't see us as a threat is thrilling. Is telling of the quality of the cricket we are producing. But as I said, we are there with them. We are there with them. You understand? I mean, they are going to be aware that West Indies is a team that can produce anything on any given day, but they know that it's because of the bad cricket that we have been playing while we are there. Really, you're going to do calling probably in the latter part of the video. I will allow you guys to come on. But what I try to do is, I know most people don't want to call in. Most people, only like 4 or 5 people are always calling in. So what I try to do is spend most of the time reading the comments, because I know some people prefer their privacy, so they don't want to come online. So I like to read the comments, let everybody feel a part, and then the latter part, if I still have time, I try to do the calling. In this gloom, forgot Alzari broke the record for the fastest 100 ODI wicket for West Indies. Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't even remember to shout out. I didn't even remember to shout out Alzari Joseph in the video. You understand? And as you rightfully said, he did that. Yeah, we need half of the team to be removed if we are going to be playing as against associate nation. We shouldn't be feeling the guys that are responsible for us being there. I hear you. The team in the qualifiers are playing more hungrily than the West Indies team in the qualifier. It's because they are better than us. They are playing better than us. Sports Bone, what were your emotions through the Dutch innings? At first, I was confident, then concerned, angry, disappointed, and late, and lastly, just heartbroken. I guess I could go the same thing as you said just now. I was pretty confident that the bowling was going to come through for us. Especially seeing that, the team made the other team made 260. What was it again? We made the last time the other team made 260. Was it 268? The bowlers did well and the batsmen didn't do anything. And so I was expecting the bowlers would come again, especially after so many catches were put down after their bowling. I was expecting them to come again to really, keep the fire burning, but he wasn't good. Alzari Joseph was the man of the super over, not Jason Holler. The man for the super over. Well, as I said in the first video that I did prior to this, Alzari Joseph bowled the last over of the innings, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess that is why they didn't allow him. But I personally think that anybody should be able to bowl because, in my opinion, it's another innings. It's almost like a test match. It's another innings, you understand? So that is how I would see it. But I mean, it's a continuation of the game, so I can understand them, the rules saying that you can't bowl back to back because it's the same game being continued. While I am saying that it's another innings, it's the same game being continued, so I can understand why they say all of that. I think we can go lower. We can lose every game next. I think we can go lower. We can lose every game next year in host World Cup. Well, that again would be something else. That would be another thing. The fact that Zimbabwe smoked USA for 408 and we last a man score 100 versus US shows the difference in ruthlessness between the better teams in the tournament. Exactly. And I think Sean Williams, the captain for Zimbabwe, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he score like over 150? Mamo showed that he scored over 150. Good evening, Sports to the Bone. Has Pooran finally decided to step up and play the long game with his batting? Well, hopefully, made a century of 60 deliveries just the same, but hopefully that's the case. You understand? He has been playing for a while now. He's a experienced senior player, so hopefully. Ireland, Scotland, Netherlands beating West Indies in World Cup is never ending. It's a never-ending love story. Look how Zimbabwe beat the same team that are in the table. I fed up. I simply fed up right now. We are officially have officially become the Italy of cricket. West Indies struggles will continue if the guys continue to prioritize money over ambition. I mean, you can understand that, we lose big. We lost big deal. It's not the first we lose, and it will definitely will not be the last. Back to the drawing board. Well, I guess for me, we shouldn't even play full member teams anymore. Play associate and get up back there, earn the right to play top teams. I can understand the feeling. Can you imagine India going to spend money to come to the Caribbean, and can you imagine India going to spend money to come to the Caribbean and then they have this to deal with? Can you imagine all of that? I mean, money is not their problem, Money is not the problem for India. I can assure you that. And after losing the World Test Championship final, especially where Test cricket is concerned, they are going to want to bounce back. And I mean, they are hosting the ODI World Cup, so they're going to want to sharpen up themselves. So, they are definitely going to come, but I can imagine they are thinking, what a waste of time. Sports to the Bone, you realize if we miss out on this year's World Cup, we would have three wins in the main stage of the last four World Cups, 2019 to 2020, 2021 and to 2022, 23-0. That's a disgrace. Well, Supernova, that's where we're at, That's where we're at. It's not a good look, but that's where we're at. Good night, Sports to the Bone. It's time we get some real in the team. And no, it's time we put Holder aside because the main weak link in the bowling attack. Who are the real fast bowlers? That is the thing, Who are the real fast bowlers? We call for the real fast bowlers, and I agree that we need them, but who are they? Carl Hooper's comments on the state of West Indies cricket have become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, Carl Hooper wasn't saying anything that was rocket science or you needed glass to see. It's just that you can imagine him being a part of the team now. They're going to want to tell him to calm down and speak good things about the team, which don't necessarily benefit the team. Whose idea was it to bowl chase at the death overs and madness? Agree or disagree, Mr. Sports? Well, I said it at the beginning of the live. I was not a fan of chase bowling the 48 overs over. I would have to go again and look at what the bowlers were doing at the time. I mean, it took 3 wickets. I guess they were looking that he probably would have picked up a wicket. So I don't know. But Van Beek caught out on last ball, but batted in the super over. So how come it's different for the bowler? Was it just a Windies decision to go holder? As I said, I'm not too sure what the exact decision was, but I saw Shea Hope and Alzari Joseph talking with the umpire. So I'm just thinking that was what they were talking about. You understand? I didn't hear anything, but I'm just thinking that's what they were talking about. Where the batting is concerned, though, you say it's a batsman game. Sports of the Bone, why do you think we crumble so much in the field in high pressure game? The players are mentally weak and panic easy catches they would normally snap up. I think it's mental. It's a mental thing alongside with them with lack of confidence. I think it's lack of confidence because that catch that Rahman Powell put down prior to this disgraceful campaign here. 9.5 times out of 10 in the highest pressure situation, Rahman Powell would take that catch. You understand? It's because they are on the edge. They are nervous. They are panicky. You understand? They are looking and knowing what people are going to say. Jason Waller was bowling. They lobbed back a simple catch to him. He dropped it. I mean, he picked it up and was able to effect a run out. But it just goes to show that they are not trusting themselves right now. The confidence is low. The morale is low. Everything is low. Good evening, Lennox. Can you please explain the reason for a poor and not batting in the super over? As I said it earlier, I'm not too sure, but my thought is that what I heard from the commentators, I haven't seen anything else. What I heard from the commentators, was that Pooran was off the field for too long throughout throughout us fielding the 50 overs, so he wasn't able to bat again. You understand? So that is what they said. I know things like that happen in Test cricket and in the same ODI, but I don't know about the Super 50. I don't know. But I am assuming that's the only reason. They couldn't be that crazy to not let him bat. It couldn't be a decision to not let him bat. It must have to be something. I think Sammy should recommend a batch of new players. We have to rebuild from the bottom, and efforts must be made to develop youth cricket in the region. Well, we're always calling for that, you know. Sports of the Bone, we need to stop lying to the bowling attack. We need to stop lying to the bowling attack needs help. Joseph needs him older, not cutting, and we want wicket take. Yeah, I'm not saying what you said was wrong, Kurt. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. We definitely need other option to work with Alzari Joseph. What I'm saying is, who are the extreme pace bowlers that you keep talking about? We know that based on what we see happening, Sinclair and Alex should get an opportunity. They are not. They're in the squad right now. You understand? So I'm just asking you, who are these express pace that you are saying they should put in right now? Sports of the Bone, the man just no, the man them just not ready. Maybe I say it, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise, but you still gonna have to call it out. Time for Kenner Lewis, Rakim Cornwall, Russian Primus, agree or disagree, Sports of the Bone. I'm still not too sure in terms of 50 over ODI cricket, all of those guys. I have seen Primus in probably a couple of games. It didn't look too bad, so I'm not too sure if he can force in. Where Rakim Cornwall is concerned, if you're going to play him, he's going to be bowling. Are you ready to pick Rakim Cornwall ahead of Sinclair and what's his name and Moti? Are you ready to pick him ahead of those guys? They don't deserve our support. Let's see what Hola has to, let's hear what Hola has to say. No, I think he's talking about what he said about Carl Hooper. And in all honesty, still, I can understand what Hola was saying, I mean, Carl Hooper wasn't wrong, but I can understand Hola as a senior player trying to get the attention away from that matter. Not, I 100% agree with what Carl Hooper was saying, but that was Jason Hola as a senior player trying to shield his team. He's going to do that. But we are watching the cricket, so we're going to call them out on the foolishness. Also, for the super over, why not just have King and Charles open with Shepherd third? Why bring out Hope to open? He is not a poor hitter. Well, Supernova, you would be surprised to know the other day I was watching a little clip and they were talking about, don't know if he was joking. You know, they asked Shea Hope who is the biggest power hitter in the team, and he said him. He said Shea Hope, and he said he was serious. So I've seen Shea Hope hit some good balls, but I don't know if he's as consistent to say that. So I guess he was backing his talent of being the biggest power hitter in the team. We also don't have anyone to stabilize their spots in the team. Only Pooran and King seem to be doing. We don't have anyone to stabilize their spots. What do you mean by stabilize the spot? Stabilize the innings or they are a sure pick. Because if you're talking about sure pick right now, it's just Shea Hope, Pooran, as I said, and probably, Brandon King is still there. I don't know. Akil Hussein hasn't set the world alight as either, but I think he's still there. Why is people not calling for changes in the bowling attack because we have the weakest bowling attack? Kurt, you keep on asking the same question and I am asking you again. People are calling for it. People are tired. But I am saying that you keep on calling. You keep on calling. Who are some of the bowlers? Suggest the bowlers and we can discuss and say whether or not, these guys are ready. Because as much as all these guys did extremely poorly today, I want to hear the guys that we think are actually ready to step up to the plate. That's why I'm asking. Ravman Powell get dropped from the team and drop a catch. Craziness, just win these things. I mean, Ravman Powell was brought on as a fielder in the latter part of the game. Nothing can go wrong there because Ravman Powell is an excellent fielder. What went wrong? Drop the catch. We need players that know what their jobs are with the team. For example, Pooran is doing well at 5, King at 1, and Hope should go back to 2. Joseph is our attacking wicket taking bowler. All right, I hear you. Even if Pooran did bat in the super over, West Indies wasn't going to win anyway. Agree or disagree? I wouldn't totally agree. Because I wouldn't totally agree because I can't tell. I can't see in the future. I have seen Pooran hitting 20 enough 30 off an over already. Not saying he would have done it, but he has the ability to do it. And I am always one of these people that say, if it's mathematically correct, if it's mathematically possible, I will say, all right, let me see if it will happen. As much as though it was unlikely because the momentum was not in our favor, I was still thinking, I wouldn't put it past. Sports to the Bone, waiting for the independent review like after the T20 World Cup. One thing I know, CWI better don't waste any money and do that. All you need to do is come on the platform here and listen to the comments that I am reading from you guys, and that will fix it. So Shakir, good night. I'm glad Sammy sent a serious message by dropping Paul. It's time Holder gets dropped and Hussein needs to rest. Bring it in Sinclair and Cornwall and Allen. All right, Kurt. So Kurt's solution is for the bowling is to bring in Allen, Cornwall, and Sinclair. All right. Let us see how Allen will work in the CPL and if he will work his way back in. Remember, some of these guys are out of favor based on lack of commitment, Some of these guys are out of favor based on lack of commitment. And as I said, yes, okay. So you say Cornwall, Sinclair, and I guess if Moti is fit, Moti is going to play. So you will have 3 spinners there. All right, I hear you. Sports to the Bone, you see the opening combination that I was asking for. Give us a solid start. Yeah, man, it was definitely a good start there by them. Was a single Yorker executed in the super over? Well, he tried, but I can't remember any actually connecting. Non-connected. They quite a few of them turned in low full tosses, if I'm remembering correctly. Well, our feeling is in a giant mess, and we don't have economical bowlers. Also, maybe Ambrose and Shiv should have been given a job as well. You see, I don't know if those guys would have fixed it or those guys would have allowed us to do better right now. Sammy couldn't have done a lot of work leading up to this. But one thing I can guarantee you is that Sammy couldn't have demotivated, if I can say it like that, those guys in terms of feeling, because Sammy was pretty good in the field himself. So if we're saying, if we're saying the other possible coaches would have helped, to solve the feeling issue, I don't know if Sammy probably could have, he's probably working on it. It's just the guys being timid and scary and scared and all of that. I know one of the reasons why Archer didn't persist in playing for West Indies, and you know what, he made the right choice, and as a result of that, he won the World Cup for England. And we can't knock him. We cannot knock him. That is the thing. We are passionate. We love our cricket, and when we see talented players leave, sometimes we feel away. But people going to choose what is best for their career. What did Carl Hooper say? So Carl Hooper basically said that the team needs to perform better. Basically said that the guys are not good enough, and he was just saying that we need to improve. How the match go now for West Indies to qualify? I will let Crick over one of the smarter guys in terms of stats deal with that. But it's going to be difficult because only 2 teams from the Super 6 will go through. Zimbabwe already have 4. You understand? I guess the only way for us, Netherlands have what? 4 or 2. I guess the only way is for us to win 2 games. I think we're going to play 2 games in there. So we have to win both games. And I guess we have to win them good also. It's going to be difficult for us to qualify. But I think Zimbabwe already have 4 points going in. So let me hear what these guys are saying, because I don't know what the points are actually looking like in the other group. So one of the guys will explain it. If they win all their Super 6 matches. So okay. So let me hear one of the guys explain it. But I'm thinking if they win, I think it's only how many Super 6 games they're gonna play. Not about 2 or so games, man. Hope these guys lose the rest of their matches. I want a total shaking up and licking off of some of the guys from the train. Good night, Sports in the Bone. It seems like Jason Hola and Shea Hope think they do not have to take Sammy or Hooper word as gospel since Desmond Haynes is the lead selector. I'm not too sure if I understand what you're saying, but Sammy said that he backs what the captain is doing. You understand? And they are the coaches, so I guess they come up together with the plan. What Sammy said was they were poor tactically because they didn't stick to the plan long enough. So I guess that was Shea-Hope panicking and probably changing things around to try and get a result. But I don't know. I don't know if I would say that they don't respect them. I don't know if I would go that far. So Kirk is saying Jair McAllister, McKenny Clark, O'Shane Thomas, Odin Smith, drop holder from the ODI team. Let's try these guys now. All right, Kurt. So those are the solutions. All right, I hear. Ramar Shepard is the first person to score. First person to score ducks in the ODI game. Not sure if I understand what you're saying there. Roy Smith says we couldn't chase 278, we couldn't defend 374, and we are a mess in the field. So what are we good at? Well, we are good at coming on social media and telling people to stop talking bad about the team. That is what they spend a lot of time doing that. Going on social media and telling people to stop talking bad about the team and support the team. We support the team, but at the same time, we are supporting the team, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we can actually talk about what we're supporting, if you understand what I'm saying. So that is something that they need to understand. They can say anything they want, but if we're going to support, they need to listen to us. So let us see. I am not surprised the way them guys played them past games. I knew this was coming. The time have come to include some test players in the ODI team. All right, says Benjamin. Why Benjamin? After we played those 2 games and won, and I came on here along with quite a few people who were saying it that the team needs to, we won the game, yes, but there are things that needs to be done. You have some people that they obviously. Some fans believe that you just literally want to throw shades at the team. Some people just believe you actually want to attack the players. It's not attack. Anybody sensible people watching the cricket going to see that you need, even though you win the game, there are things that can be improved upon. So I can understand how people can understand them something. Was wondering why Chase bowled the 48 over. I didn't like the idea, but I don't pressure it too much because you know the next thing is gonna say that I hate him and I don't like him. So I just leave it. Holder needs to retire from ODIs like Stokes says Matt Pryor. All right, good night. All right. The boys got chilling time during the World Cup. May as well play a tournament and prepare for next year World Cup. Well, Crick Lover, tell us if we can qualify this. Sports to the bone. If my memory serves me right, Holder had the ball in his hand going towards the wicket for a run out, and instead of stump with the. I'm not too sure if I pick up what you're saying. West Indies scored 374 runs today, still lost. How many more runs do they have to score to get a win? If they made somewhere I'll be headed. So Philip, as you said, we have always had this issue where we tend not to play full cricket. So on that day we'll get a good performance from the batsmen and then the bowlers come and don't perform. You understand? Now it's going three ways. Bowlers, batsmen, and the fielders. Not doing as much as we would want, Good night. Big up this Brooks Holder that dropped from the ODI team. Alec and Odin are better replacement, he says. All right, Sports to the Bone. You always say there is a reason we are here and we are playing that way. Exactly, Williams. Exactly. No, ICC didn't take us and put us down there because they don't like us, A lot of people like to come up with conspiracy and say that, listen, they are trying to trick all our best players. They are trying to take our players. They are trying to fight against us. ICC didn't take us and throw us down there, But when I talk these things, reality, people upset and behave as if you're hating on the players. I'm not coming on here. I'm not going to spend my time and watch cricket and then come on here and make up things. I'm not doing that. No coach can help this team. Man, I'm just not good, says hardball. Darren Sammy missing Chris Gale, Dwayne Bravo, Darren Bravo and Russell, Karen Pollard, Sunil Narayan, Brian Lara, Shiv Narayan, Chandapal, Tej Narayan, Chandapal. He says, all right. Okay, so this is Crick Lover. We need to win all three in the Super 6. Hope Sri Lanka and Scotland are home and beat Zimbabwe. Bad and then, on net run rate. Then hope the other teams get stuck on 4. Well, that is too much hoping, So it's 3 games. So if we win the 3 games, it is still not in our hand. Clearly. All right. Having the best coaches would not save West Indies' problem. You have Andy Flowers, Stephen Fleming, Sangakkara, Gary, Kristen, and we are still at square one. The problem is more mental than anything. I mean, it's mental. Yes, a lot of mental, but some of the guys just not good. They're just not good, and their record say it. If a man is playing cricket for 10 years, right? Say a man is playing ODI. Let us be real now. Say a man is playing ODI for 10 years, and the man batting at number 3, 4, 5, specialist batsman in the team, are opening, and the man averaging 23. Do you think it's because the man have a mental problem for 10 years? A man is playing cricket for 5 years, and that man is a specialist batsman and can't average more than 30. The man have a mental situation too tough, There might be mental problem, but you can't be playing cricket for an entire career, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, which is a career, and is a mental. The man, I'm just not good. If you're a bowler and you're taking 1 wicket at 60 apiece in every ODI game, then you're just not good. It's simple as that, And some people might say, why am I saying this? Why I don't go and do it if I can do better? I cannot do better. And that is why I sit down here and talk, because I'm not a professional cricketer. But listen, just listen to the logics. If you're playing cricket for 8, 9 years, some of these guys playing international cricket for well over 6, 7 years, and can't average more than 25, 26, and special. You see, man, I'm not good. I can't stay there. That is what Carl Hooper wanted to say, but he cannot say it. Can't say it. The Netherlands run us to the ground and we were turning ones into twos. Easy. Exactly. That not only did they score a lot of boundaries, they were rotating the strike, turning the ones into twos all the time. Zimbabwe will win all their games, so win this depending on Sri Lanka to lose 2 games, which is unlikely, says TD. All right, so 3 game in the Super 6. All right. Force to the bone. No disrespect. Why are you not bashing like long time when you used to bash? I never bash anybody, you know. I just call it how I see it. And I am still calling it how I see it. You understand? I am calling it just as how I see it. If you think I am not calling it how I see it, just look at the comment section for some of the videos and you will see people telling me that I'm fighting against their players. I never used to bash, you know. I just call it as how I see it, and I am doing the same thing. Same thing that I'm doing. If Desmond Haynes and Shea Hope was to listen to the last and what come out of that report. I think it's saying that the report Shimron Hetmeyer would have been selected. Shea Hope through Shimron Hetmeyer. I think he said under the bus. So this is the thing now. The report suggested that you need your best players playing, and they said that it would be nice to come to an amicable solution with Hetmeyer and get him back in the team. Anybody that watching cricket and understand cricket knows that the youngster knows that he's talented, but there is something that needs to be fixed before they can get it done. What I didn't like, and even if as a captain you say, listen, I am working with this team for right now, because the captain has a say in the selection. Even if you say I'm working with this team for right now, I didn't like when Desmond Haynes come on and made it public. Certain things you don't need to come and say. You understand? But I guess they know best. Brooks, Keemo, Paul, Shepherd, Chase shouldn't be in the ODI squad. All right, if my memory serves me right, Holder had I think I read that one already. After stumping ball in hand, he chose to throw the wicket. I don't remember seeing him throwing and missing. I remember seeing one where he threw and effected the run out. So probably I missed that one. About Holder saying needs rest. There is no quick fix to this, and some house cleaning. There's no quick fix to this. Need some house cleaning. Holder is done. Keemo Paul can play as a bowler. King look so lazy feeling at times. Why rough? They need Sinclair. Okay. Sammy sounds like he wants to drop players with poor work ethic from the train. Well, I have no problem with that, brother. I have no problem with that. Having coached myself, if you come to my training and you're not, the attitude is not what I want in the training, you're not going. You're not getting selected. You understand? If I can't trust it to get the work done in training, I can't trust it to get it done on the field. So Desmond Haynes will put more Bajans in the ODI squad after losing to the Netherlands. That is something that I would have to wait and see. And as I say, if they are capable of making the team based off performance, I wouldn't have any problem with it. If you have noticed, they almost the game against UAE until when Sinclair was given the ball. All right. They thought Chase was Narayan. Skills to bowl 48 over. As I said, I didn't like the idea. Having said that, he took 3 wickets in the game, so I guess they thought he would have taken another wicket. I wouldn't like that. I didn't like the idea of bowling the half spinner to the man that was on strike. But then again, you're going to hear that I don't like Rasta Chase and I'm fighting against him. So I will just leave it. Sports to the bone. Why are you not bashing all the bowling today? It's we will move to all the time for the. As I said before, I don't bash people. I call it as how I see it. Right? And I already spoke about Jason Holler. I already spoke about it, saying that it was poor bowling. You understand? And I am a man that will stand by my word. Alzari Joseph not being able to bowl, Jason Holler, I had no problem with him getting the ball prior to him bowling. As a senior player, as somebody that would have been into a situation like this before, I think it was last year or the year before, Jason Holler was in a situation like this. And I'm almost certain that he took 4 wickets in the last over. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. You understand? The fact that it did not work out, it was poor from him. The bowling was poor. I can't say anything more. The bowling was poor. But I will tell you, I am not a biased person, and I am not gonna pretend after the fact and say somebody else should have bowled. I had no problem with Jason Holder getting that ball once Alzari Joseph couldn't bowl. Holder was in the position to run out the runner with the ball in his hand instead of throwing. All right. It looked like our failure to qualify will be confirmed in the Super 6, says Andre. All right. So Shakes, Matt Sinclair is better than Hussein right now, plus C better than Hussein with the bat. All right. I think Anthony should have been in the squad as well. I also think the young guys in the academy is much better than the senior team. Well, a lot of people think that Anthony should have been in the squad, you know. These guys are so unfit. Look at Charles Belly. Dude is struggling to run. Hussein looks drained. So him jump after the ball past him. All right. We can beat Sri Lanka. All right. Why is everyone complaining? They love the team. This issue will continue as long as the same selectors are in place. I told you that this team is weak and can't be coached. But Davis, anybody that is watching the cricket knows that the team is not strong enough. Because anybody that is watching the cricket sees the lack of consistency. You understand? But at the end of the day, a team is selected and we love the cricket. So we have to watch the cricket, you know? And a coach will have to be there. Sports to the bone. On a serious note, what should we do for the India tour? All right, so for the India tour, for example, for the ODIs, I am keeping Brandon King. Kyle Mears will still be in and around the team. Still looking at age also. Shea Hope is going to be there. Pooran is going to be there. Not carrying so many, not carrying Brooks, not carrying Carty, not carrying one or two of the all, not carrying, probably going rest Jason Holder, probably play him in the test cricket, leave him out of the ODI. Alec Arthur is definitely plays. Should have made his debut from South Africa. Sinclair hopefully is going to be fit. Well, Sinclair is obviously fit. Moti hopefully will be fit by then. So we're going to leave out a couple of the guys. Alzari stay, as you know. But quite a few of these guys we need to leave out. You understand? If we talk about batsmen, we probably need 2 or 3 batsmen. You know, it's a possibility that we might see certain things get fixed between West Indies, between CW and some other players. But it has to be a change up, man. About 5 of these guys have to be chopped. Sinclair close to saying. All right. About 5 of them guys have to be chopped. West Indies feeling horrible, drop catches, Smith feeling just madness. I believe if Holder had gone for the wide Yorker bowling, he would have been less expensive in the Super overseas. Andre. All right. We need to go back to Clive Lloyd mentality. That's how we became champions. All right. We would have won this match if Yannick Correa was playing. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. Those guys talking to each other. They're Sports in the bone. I know we're not playing good cricket for years, but I never see West Indies play so poorly in the field since watch them for 20 years. I agree. In terms of the feeling, I can't remember seeing us poorer than this. I think this is the worst I've seen them in terms of feeling. Sports in the bone, what words of advice do you think Sammy and the management team can go and tell the players? They need to be picked up, and if they go out, they need to go out fighting. That's the same thing, the latter part of what you said. If they go out, they need to go out fighting. You know, you will let them know that, listen, we slipped, but we have an India tour coming around the corner. So let us try and finish with a bang. Let us try and win all three games. And if we are out, we are out. Yeah, and let them know that, listen, not to let anybody feel uneasy, but people are going to be sacked, or people gonna lose their spot. So go out there and fight for your spot. He needs to tell them. Most of the time, all I hear these people talking about is go out there and express yourself. Go out there and express it. You want to express yourself, but if yourself is to be failing, it can't happen. Man playing cricket for 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years, and averaging 20, 21, 22, and you're telling man to express themselves. you know what themselves is. You know what they are. Tell the man that this is how I wanted to play and this is what you need to do. You can't tell people that playing cricket for 10 years to go and express themselves and then can't bat. Foolishness that. West Indies will not qualify again. What the guys can do is play personal game to force their selection for the India series, else many of them won't smell ODI game again. That's what I just said. But the coach needs to tell him that and still tell him not to play selfish, play for the team. You stop, watch, and listen to the West Indies. All right, I hear you. The whole issue is the UAE tournament was useless. How can you be preparing for a World Cup tournament and have a camp before then 3 qualifier of the team from the UAE didn't even come to the World Cup? Yeah, exactly. You know, you have people preparing for the thing and then I don't know, man. Even though we were cussing some of the past players, but they did have the know-how, which this team is lacking. Men just not good enough. Brooks, for example, gets out same way every time. I mean, a couple of the guys had the know-how, yes, but they were still not consistent. And they would have had the know-how because they had experience and all of that. A couple of these guys, they are just taking it on by themselves right now, but some of them still mustn't play back, man. Them not good, brother. Bring back the great Roger Harper and the King Kyron Pollard and the legend Phil Simmons. All right. Right now, it better we did bring the under-19 side, and then we would see with them. Probably would have been a good idea, yes. Netherlands played the better cricket today and deserve to win. I agree. The coach himself said that. Games are played in 2 halves, not one. Right? Bobby says, Hope did it again. He bowled chase one over too many. I hope he learns. Hopefully. This generation has nothing to show. We're still living off the hype of the World Cup won in the last generation. Yeah. Yep, versus England, he took 4 wickets in 1 over for us and win the match. I remember watching that match live. Yeah, that's what I said. So I didn't have a problem with him getting the ball at the depth. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say he shouldn't have bowled. I didn't have a problem with him. I was backing him to give away at least probably 15, 16 runs, but I shouldn't concede so much. Unacceptable. Exactly. When I got home and saw the Netherlands made 15 from 9 balls, I turned off. I couldn't believe they made 300. Breaking new CWI draft is Friday, 30th of June. CPL draft, all right? We are close to being relegated to associate status. Well, as I said, ICC did not fight against us and kick us down there now. Right now, it better we did bring Lewis, Russell, and Hetty. Sports to the bone, India, the India holder shouldn't be here in the ODI team, and Sinclair and Cornwall should be the Hussein needs a rest. We need a spinner who can bat. Hussein bowls the same thing over and over. All right. Ever since that England game where Holder took 4 wickets in the last over, Holder has been horrible in the death over since. All right. This loss is more painful, I'm sure, as fan than the fans who witnessed the loss of 96 against Kenya. This result is the saddest thing, but this team was never the best team. I can understand the reasoning, Winston. I can understand the reasoning there. Can we get 3 ODI games, West Indies versus West Indies Academy, so we can see where we at with our players? 3 best versus best games. There's not going to be any time for that right now because we go straight into the game into India series. And then after that, I think we have the CPL and then the World Cup. So I don't know if we have enough time. They should do the same thing Rajasthan did with Holder when he bowled the final over in a match and gave the man 3 full tosses and more than lose the match. Pack him. He never played after that. We need to stop going after Russell if the guys don't want to play for West Indies. Then I am happy somebody else is saying it because Sometimes when I say these things, I hear that I'm fighting the players. I'm thinking that Powell, Mears, and Holder position is under threat in ODI's setup. Agree or disagree? I mean, Mears probably have a little more credit in the bank, you know. As I said, Robman Powell is there as a specialist batsman. He's the vice captain, so I don't know if they're going to use the title to keep him in. But if he's not performing as a batsman, he's going to have to, you know, they're going to have to drop him. Holder is probably not too far away from being left out either, you know. Fitness, mental and physical is two main prerequisites before entering the field of play. That is true. Haynes is old school. You got to get new age thinking people to be selectors. He was playing cricket in rotary phone days. I won't even say that. I won't even say that still, you know. I won't even say that because I won't even say that. That is because he's old school why he's not selecting the correct team. And I think some of the guys that haven't been selected, you know, it's because we want to see them in. We want to see some of the guys in, so we're overlooking some of the issues. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that we're overlooking some of the issues. You understand? But I hear you. Sports of the Bone, who fast bowlers you gonna bring for the India series? We need somebody to help Joseph. Well, Odin Smith did an interview and he said that he was told that the main reason for him to not for them not to, well, he didn't tell us why he said that they sent him home to prepare for India. So I am assuming that they told him that he's gonna be vital for that series. So let us see if he's gonna be that man. By performing, associate countries get 4 years ODI status by ICC. Now, ICC could make rules to scrape the ODI and test status from scrap the ODI and test status from playing nations too. All right. Seriously, just because someone played good cricket in 1985 does not mean they know how to analyze, motivate, and have critical thinking. West Indies need to get away from these jobs for the boys team. And West Indian, you are correct. You are correct in the sense that I have always said it. Being a brilliant cricketer don't necessarily mean you're going to be a brilliant coach. Being a poor cricketer don't mean you're going to be a poor coach. You know, we have seen that in football. We have seen that in cricket. You understand? We have seen that all over. Prior to Desmond getting the job, you know, a lot of people were saying that he's a good teacher, so he should have been the one to get the coaching job. You know, they gave him the selecting job, and you know, let us see where it will go. But you know, you should understand that being an excellent cricketer don't mean you're going to be going to be an excellent coach or selector. Powell, Holder, Brooks out the ODI series against India. Right now, I can't even serve. I can't even find anything to say. Let them stay. So I can understand. Kingman says West Indies out of the World Cup. No, maybe Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe are not going to lose 3 games. All right. Powell with the 21 average. I agree. Sports to the bone. All right. Holder, Brooks, Charles needs to retire. They are all in their 30s. Next World Cup is 2027. Needs fresh players, new mindset, new stop recycling mediocrity. So what I'm saying though, TD, I believe in having new players coming through, but I don't necessarily subscribe to because the person is 30, they should retire. I believe in the youngsters outperforming them and taking the spot. You understand? So hopefully the youngsters, and the only way for that to happen is to give the youngsters an opportunity. So as you are saying, probably the India tour or the next tour after that, we can bring in some of the youngsters, take a look at them and see where we go from there. No? West Indies have 2 batsmen, Puran and Hope. All the others should be dropped. Once again, I can't even knock you too tough for that. You understand? I can't even knock you. You saying that right now? I can't even knock you and say, you know, because the man him can't bat. Dimbo need to be in these teams. All right, as what? As a bowling all-rounder. Fast bowler Joseph, Seals, Odin, Holder, spinner Hussein Karaya, Moti Carnwall for India series. Agree or disagree? For the ODIs, Moti is going to be fit for the ODI, so I definitely drop Moti in there. And I don't see you have Sinclair there. I would like to see Sinclair in also, so probably not totally agree. All right. Jaycon Music says, I wish you could add me to the live. I mean, we usually add people to the live, after the once I'm finished with the comments, I usually add on people to the live. So I know people are frustrated right now, so I'm trying to read the comments for most people, and then I see if I can add a couple. West Indies out, sorry to say. West Indies are no longer a full member team. We are now officially an associate team. This is our level. No. These guys have been playing for years. Age does matter. They are not improving, so give the youngsters a chance. All right, TD, I hear you. Bowler is not a bad bowler. All right. Still love the team and will always watch and support. I think that is true for most of us, Andre. That is true for most of us, but you don't know it go. Good evening to you. What can we do about the game? I wonder if these guys are afraid of themselves. As I said, there's a whole lot of things that went into that game. When I see Rahman Powell and Holder dropping routine catches, I can say these guys are on edge right now. They are nervous. They are, they're just feeling brittle right now. The guys back the guys back then in the early 2000s have to know how, because everybody back then had to play tons of first class cricket. Exactly. Don't worry, Sports to the Bone. Plenty time during World Cup since we're not going. Man said the academy would take care of them, would beat them, huh? Russell and them no good either to stop talking about them. Open the line. Once I'm finished reading the comments, I will do just that. Let's just be honest. These guys are not good enough to play international cricket, and it's been proven over and over again. Let's stop blaming everyone and everyone else. Said it. Just, if you want to know how good the guys are, just look at their average. Just look at the averages. These people playing cricket for 6, 7, 8, 9 years and can average 28, and they are specialist batsmen. That's how madness that. West Indies need to replace Powell, Brooks, and Charles and bring back Lewis Hetty and not sure who that is. Hope those guys that you're talking about wants to be brought back. How far are we from being relegated? A lot of folks talking about that. I'm not too sure if we're too far from that, What up with Chanel Daily? I'm not sure. I didn't watch the rest of the women's game. I don't know if something happened. Amazing how we drew against South Africa a few months ago. That is West Indies for you. Pooran is looking good in the field. His work is a keeper. Pooran has always been a good keeper, a good fielder. So when you see Pooran miss a catch or do something sloppy, it's just lack of concentration. Well, the same can be said for most of them, but Pooran has always been good in the field. Sports to the Bone, bring on Sheldon to talk, or is not on the show today. I mean, I haven't seen him in the back in the thing. What percentage would you give the West Indies of making it out? Say 1%. I can see one of Sri Lanka or Zimbabwe losing all three their games. As I said, I'm not a math guru, but I can't see it. I can't see them getting out. I can't see them making it out because Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka, nobody not in there to beat Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka like that. It's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely, but it's not mathematically. It's not impossible, but improbably is what they would say. Loved what the Dutch did today. Hope for Sri Lanka to be embarrassed in the tournament too. If I was Joseph, I would have mental issue at this point. must be hurtful to see all them drop catches and have to run in again. It is not a nice feeling, man. Definitely not a nice feeling. I think they should strip ODI and test status from us, and I think that's the only way cricket in the region would take will be taken more seriously. All right. West Indies need more A-team tours badly, along with some more first-class games. Just coming in, didn't know you had a live going on. Yeah, we are here talking out the truth. If they qualify for the World Cup, would there really be difference? I love West Indies, but the discipline seems to be lacking and inconsistent. Obviously, the system isn't producing too much world-class players, but maybe the young players to take us forward will be Arthane, Sinclair, Young, Matthew Ford, Nando, Hetty, Pooran, and Lewis. Yeah, probably those guys. Lewis is what now? 30, 31 maybe. Yeah, those guys hopefully will be the ones to work with, you know. I would agree with some of those names. And I mean, we had a couple of other guys coming through a couple of years ago, but for the life of me, the guys just not making any runs in the first class cricket. Yeah, you have guys like Bishop, Teddy Bishop, and there's another one. There's another guy that was scoring a lot of runs at the under 19, but they're just not coming through. The ICC should let every nation have ODI and test status at this point. Lots of passenger full members living off their legacy and not results. My ODI team against India: Brandon King, Mackenzie, Arthanaise, Shea Hope, Hetmeyer, Rutherford, Sinclair, Drake, Joseph, Jordan, and Beaton. All right, so you're giving Ransford Beaton a run. All right, I hear you. And Johnson Charles is not a batsman. He's a C-ball, hit ball. Well, we have a lot of them in the team. You know, we have a lot of them in the team. When I spoke about the weakness in Johnson Charles' game prior to him, you know, coming back in form, when I spoke about the weakness in his game, just like I do for most of the other guys, and I was told that I'm biased and I don't like him. So Morty needs to replace Hussein, and I don't want to hear about who in the top 20 or 30 or our best spin option should be playing for us. All right, that says Casanova. Isn't Lewis over 30 already? I think Lewis is like 30, 31 maybe. Please add me when you finish reading comments. Yeah, I'm about to add, you know, because the plan was for us to go for 1 hour, but I know some people have some burning thing that they want to talk. Marlon has been here waiting for a while. So the link is there. If you want to come on and have your say, you can go ahead and click the link and I will let you guys on. So look in the description below. The link is there. You can click the link and I'll give you an opportunity to come on and speak. So the link is there. Device not connected. I don't know what's happening with your thing, Marlon. Exit and try and come back, Marlon, if you are hearing me. I am unable. It is saying device not connected. Exit and try and come back again. I see Jaycon saying that he wants to come on. You can. The link is there in the description. The other guys that are usually there. And remember, if you're new to the platform, it is open to everyone, right? So the link is there. Just click it and you can come on. All right. In the meantime, let me read a few more. I like there is one kind of weakness which other nations have discovered about us, which we can't realize yet. I saw West Indies score 375 against the Netherlands and thought it was an automatic win. Am I crazy? Not crazy, no, OJ. Not crazy. Just West Indies being West Indies. Marlon is the same thing. They say they will device not connected. This is the message that I'm seeing. Device not connected. They will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the stream. Yes. See it there. Yeah. Yeah, see it there now. Yeah, Supernova. Lewis over 30, man. Lewis older than myself, yeah. 31. All right, Marlon, what say you now?
Good evening, Lennox and viewers. From my perspective, let me declare I didn't watch the game. However, I watched the Zimbabwe game. And from I watched that game, I knew we were out of the World Cup. From we lost that game, it would have been an uphill task to qualify. It's even more impossible now. Well, more improbable. To find the right word. It basically is little to zero chance. But you see, at this point, I I don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction, but Lennox, it's time for us to consider whether West Indies cricket is worth moving forward with.
Yeah.
Because these guys genuinely, like, it's like their level dropped considerably when they put on the West Indies shirt. Like, some of the things you watch these guys do outside of West Indies colors, you cannot understand how they would drop these simple catches. The catch that Akil Hussein dropped against Zimbabwe of Raza, I think when he was on 7. Lennox, a 10-year-old could catch that ball. That was how easy that catch was to complete. And he shelled it. Ravman Powell or Sean Williams, another easy chance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Marlon, I think these guys are just nervous and timid and they're just confused. 9 times out of 10, qualifier Ravman Powell would have caught the ball. The guys, they just, I don't know, brother.
It is ridiculous to watch these guys, and it is just tarnishing the legacy of West Indies cricket to the point where it is not even worth watching. It is not worth watching and it's not worth following.
I can understand. Like, I understand the feeling, man. I definitely understand the feeling.
Over the last 20 years, these guys have done more to tarnish cricket in the region, the players themselves, than any selector, than any administration, the players themselves, because people follow the game because of the product on the field. So regardless of this, the backroom staff does, is the product on the field is what fans see. And over the past 20 years, players have done a lot to destroy West Indies cricket because of their poor performance. It is beyond depressing to watch the manner in which and the teams in which we are losing to. Like, we cannot defend. Listen, 375, I don't care who you play, and you get 375 against, you should be able to defend it. And you're playing Netherlands. Like, you cannot defend that against the Netherlands.
Probably
we need to reassess.
To the next one doesn't even make sense.
We need to reassess if it worked going forward as a region together, because it is obvious to me. It's like a divorce that is waiting to happen that nobody wants to make that whole decision. It is ridiculous watching these guys at this point.
Yeah.
Somebody else could have their go at it.
All right, Marlon. We heard the pain and the passion right there. I think Gio was on next, and then Jacob. Yes, Gio, opening remarks. What say you?
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Big up everybody. Big up everybody. Thanks for having me on. To me, West Indies, I think, as bad as it might seem for me to admit this, but this is actually something that we need, because I'm telling you, because like if you really look at it, right, in 2017 we didn't qualify for the Champions Trophy, right? In 2019 we barely scraped through because of teeth out and because of rain out against Scotland, and won 2 games in the World Cup. In 2022 we won like 1 game in the group stage in the T20 World Cup in 2021, right? And in 2022, we didn't make the proper World Cup for the T20 World Cup, right? And now I think that this just gives a chance for the president to just rip up all this nonsense and dumb stuff that's been going on. Like, for example, a bunch of sides just selecting older players, like 33, 34-year-old players that not performing. And I can say for Jamaica myself too, selecting a bunch of players in domestic cricket, not giving you players no chances, not focusing on youth development. So it just gives the Dr. Keishar Salah, a chance to just rip up all the nonsense that's been going on and just reset and try again.
But is that going to really change things though? Because we have been losing for years now. I have been watching cricket for all my life, and I can remember 3 tournaments that I enjoyed. Champions Trophy, I was like maybe 10 or 11. 2004.
Or the 2004 one,
and then the 2 World Cup that we won under Darren Sammy. There's nothing else. I mean, the writing is on the wall, so I don't know if these guys are going to literally just shake up anything. I don't know, But I
Yeah,
but Lennox,
Mhm.
Kishar Shal has been a part of that administration for a long time. So I
Exactly.
mean,
In the back room. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
Gio.
a
yeah,
Johnny.
but look at this, right? But look at this, right? Not to interrupt, but look at this, right? But look at this. To me, I think a lot of people are not understanding the fundamental difference with West Indies. West Indies have to deal with two fundamental differences. First of all, we are not one country. Another
Mhm.
reason, traveling in the West Indies is very expensive. Like, say, for example, right?
Mhm.
If West Indies was one country, our cricket development would be better. Because, say, for example, in England, right? It's just one country. So guess what? If Surrey got to play like Glamorgan, I gotta play Kent Middlesex. All the man they gotta do is just go on a bus ride and they can play their T20 cricket. They can play their 4-day cricket, whatever. West Indies, we gotta spend 4 times the amount just to play a cricket game, domestic cricket game. So we already have money cost right there. And because we are different countries, we already got different philosophies of developing cricket. So that's one of the fundamental things that's wrong. Because say for example, 100 million for England could make them play at least 100 domestic games. 100 million
Yeah.
West Indies probably like with 30 because of our travel costs. Because I'm looking at flight to go to Barbados from Jamaica, and it's cost me like $600. You know what I mean? If I was in England, all I gotta do is just take a train. So that's
All
part of the
right.
problem.
All right, Gio. We're gonna circle back to you. Let us hear Jacon's opening remarks. What say you? You hear me?
Jesus Christ, sports to the bone. Oh gosh, I feel like I feel like I want to pray.
Oh my gosh, man.
First of
You
all,
want before you go any further, it's a pleasure hearing your voice. Sports to the Bone family, this is my classmate from high school, and it's a pleasure hearing your voice. Been years. What say you?
years, but I mean we are not too far, because I follow up the program.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we fail, what I hear, these bunch of people, what they fail to acknowledge is that they fail to acknowledge that all other cricketing nations are developing. I don't hear anybody
Yeah.
giving the Netherlands any credit for the great cricket that they played. You
That is true.
understand?
That's true.
And
Mhm.
we know that West Indies, as according to us Caribbean people or whoever know West Indies history, according to us, we shouldn't lose against the Netherlands. But
Mhm.
the kind of cricket that we are playing, we are not going to win because all other nations are improving and we are not.
Yeah,
Our cricket is
exactly.
declining. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with how much Caribbean nation we have. It should be more. We should be more lethal because we have more nation and more pools to pick from. Next
Mhm.
thing, sports to the bone. I tell you that these players, they have too much leeway. I tell you that
Mhm.
3 games, as what we were
Yes,
saying
three
before,
and
how
they're
can you
off.
have a man in the team for 1 year playing and they
Mhm.
cannot perform for 3 match?
Mhm.
1 year. Most of these guys, as you said, they are in the team for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years.
Yeah. Averaging 21 and
You're
22
hearing
and
me?
25. Yeah, we're hearing you.
Averaging 21. Powell cannot play spin. How can we be going to a World Cup in as much as I am from Jamaica? How can we be going to a World Cup in India and we have a batsman that cannot negotiate spin? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which World Cup are we going to in
That
India?
doesn't make any sense. You want to go to India to
I
play.
mean, I think he was
Next thing
talking
again,
about picking the team prior to this.
I,
Mm. Yeah, we're
I,
hearing you.
I,
We're
I,
hearing you.
I, I don't know how West Indies. I don't know what West Indies do to choose these players. And look at this. You see, our leagues back home is not good
Mhm.
enough because if it's
There's no
one,
league.
we are not
There's
picking the
nothing
players
there.
who are performing in
Mm.
our domestic league. Two,
Yeah, yeah.
we are not. The league is not good enough because if we are picking the best player and they cannot compete against associate nations. What is the use of our leagues?
Funny enough, they are not even selecting the best players. Funny enough, they are not even selecting the best players from our league. I mean, the league is weak already, so you would think they're going to select the best ones, and they are not the best
I'm
ones.
not sure if it's my computer or the live or what, but hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think your thing is talking. It's
West
going on and
Indies
off,
do
on and
not
off.
have.
I think it's your internet connection. You hear me?
Just reconnect and connect again because your connection is
Exit and
bad.
try and come back, Jacob.
Well, I'm picking.
Yeah. Hey, Sports Billboard.
Exit and reconnect, Jacob. I almost called him by his real name. I don't know if he wants his name or
Okay,
yes.
about.
Circle to the top. So we're back
Yep.
to Marlon. Yes, Marlon. Or you just chop everybody on God?
I disagree with the fella that talk about the logistics and travel and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Why I
that was
disagree with it because I think it's a bad point, but because during the time when there was less resources available, those things were not a problem.
Yeah.
So how can it be a problem when there are more resources available? As bad as our CWI complains about finances, there's more resources available than in the 1960s and 70s.
Yeah.
So like the logistics, it
I mean,
cannot
I
be defined.
explained it on here before. The guys, they are not willing to do the work that the guys did back then in terms of going out there on the beach, running for 1.5 hours, putting in the work, putting in the mileage. I'm old enough to have seen this, but I'm almost sure that I have heard that back in those days, there would be camps. So you have a set of batsmen, you want them to work on batting the short ball, you carry them to Barbados and they camp out there for a while in that country. You want the man to learn to bat spin, you carry them to Trinidad and Guyana and they camp out there for a while. Them sort of things not happening anymore. So, I mean, apart from the guys not being willing to work, not being willing, burn all the time. We're not playing enough red ball cricket that, that's how you learn to bat. That's how you learn to bowl. You understand? So these are all the things that let us know. Jake, and you can try to connect again if you're on. And see if we will hear it. Yes, Jim.
Can I defend? Okay, all right. Okay. I'm gonna pose 2 points. So the second point he's talking about Jacon was talking about because we got so many islands, we gotta have more resources. That is a blatant lie because if you look at this, right? I'm gonna defend 2 of my points. The first point I'm gonna say New Zealand, no matter how good you see New Zealand is, most of their players are not even from New Zealand, and their population is around 6 million, right? Around the same as West Indies collectively, right? So if they gotta get out of their country to get best players to represent their team, because Glenn Phillips, a couple of their players are always from South Africa, right? Even Australia got to outsource players from different countries, even England too. And second point about the 60s and 70s, right? You can't use that reference because guess what? Say, for example, no matter how hard you try, if you give a player and he doesn't have the same resources as the player in English, the player is going to be better in England. The player could try a million times better, but if he doesn't got the proper resources, proper facilities to learn how to train, to learn how to bat, to learn how to bowl, to learn how to field, and all that stuff, that is part of the problem. Because I'm telling you, even the cricket schools, even high schools or development cricket clubs, they got better facilities than West Indies, like facilities right here that we got over in the West Indies. So that's another point. So you can't expect a man to just run on the beach and whatever, right?
When I say
that can't work.
Beach, I mean you need the technical things about the work that was being done back then. These guys are not doing it because they are not playing red ball cricket enough to do those type of work.
Yes,
we're fit. You understand? All right. For the last 4 or 5 years, probably 6 years, the guys that you see come from under 19 that are extremely talented that we think would have gone on. Some of the batsmen that we think would be scoring 7, 8 centuries now, and the bowlers taking how much wickets. It's on the Alzheimer Joseph has really gone on, and it's because the guys are not playing red ball cricket. They're not playing red ball cricket. I mean, they still have Poor and them guys doing them thing. But say for example, O'Shane Thomas, I like to use him as an example because when O'Shane Thomas just came on the scene, I was at Sabina Park and I saw him. And the mistake that CW and all of them made, the guy start playing T20 cricket. You can't learn to bowl in T20 cricket. You have to play 4-day cricket, bowl 20 overs for the day, rest, come back, bowl 10 or 15 overs the next. That's how you learn to bowl. You can't bowl 4 overs on the game. You can't learn to play cricket like that. So all of these couple up is an issue. But I hear you, though, Gio. I hear you.
Yes. And then one point before I let the guy talk, right? So for example, I equate West Indies youth cricket to under 19 cricket, right? Because if you really think about it, right, most of the countries in football, right, most of the under 19 and the under 17, they're equal, right? They're equal. Like most of the teams, no matter what, they're always equal. But what makes the team different, like they say, for example, the England, the Brazil, whatever, is because they got facilities. Because I see a bunch of time when Jamaica put out a decent under 19 team, we are competitive against the US. But what happens when the players come to a better age? Because they got the proper facilities, they're going to eventually develop better. That's why West Indies, we lost all of our players. Because if a man perform under 19, a man that is a player is not going to get a chance in the domestic level. And then guess what? He's not going to have the proper facilities. So by the time a man turns 2021, he's going to just quit cricket and go do a regular job in the real world. What if he was in England or Australia or India? He could be going to a cricket academy. He could be playing some 3-day red ball cricket. Yeah. He could be playing some other domestic form of cricket to make a living. So he can depend on that.
That's a solid point. Solid point. All right, let's go to Marlon again, and then we come back to Jake. Still there, Marlon? All right. Not sure if he's hearing me. All right. So the big question, where do we go here? We have India coming up next. So what do we think we need to do? I mean, we still have 3 more games. I'm not bypassing those, but let's just assume that we're gonna get kicked out. What do we do from here going towards India? What do we do from there? I throw the question out. Anyone and can pick it up. Start it.
So you're hearing me now, Sports to the Bone?
Yeah.
Okay. So I start using my LTE because I guess the Wi-Fi, I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, I hear now good now.
Okay, so as I was saying, what we should do moving forward, I think Desmond Haynes, I think we need a different selector. The reason why I'm not bashing Desmond Haynes but he's not giving the right. I still don't think they're choosing the right team from the West Indies. There is better teams that can be picked from the pool of players that we have in the West Indies. That is my number one issue. And even though Sports to the Bone, I was telling you that we don't have 3 world-class players, and you see it now, we don't have.
Yeah, I was fighting to find, and I found, how many did I found? I found Hope, Joseph, and probably I squeezed Pooran in there. Yeah, but I hear you. Continue.
Because of these 2 performances, you can squeeze Pooran in, and the only reason why Pooran got 200 is because they drop him. We have to think look at the games that West Indies win. It was an error and the other team's fault why we win. If USA took all their chances against the West Indies, probably we would lose against the USA. Look how Zimbabwe played those teams. When Zimbabwe meet those teams, you know, it is an annihilation, you know. When West Indies fighting to win these teams, you know, these are some of the things you can use to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the team, you know. Look at when Sri Lanka playing those teams that are not full member nation. It's an annihilation. West Indies is struggling. West Indies do not have a bowling attack.
Yeah.
We do not have a bowling attack. Alzari Joseph is our best bowling, and if you look at Alzari is bowling, he's too expensive. He's too. And
I can't disagree with what you are saying, because this bowling lineup, we need in ODI cricket 50 overs. You need at least 2 strike bowlers. You understand? So you need somebody else who is as quick as Alzari. That's going to be not as expensive as you say. a couple of other guys that are real quality. So
there is no way you can have your strike bowler starting off bowling 3 over at the top and you 30 runs.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. And that is your strike bowler.
Mm,
there is true. No I think I respect Hope, but I don't think Hope has fully developed as a captain to make tactical decision. When the team reach in spots like these that we saw today, he does not have.
Yeah, what I was saying when he got the captaincy was I was hoping that the senior players would help him because I don't remember seeing him captain in the franchise team. I don't remember seeing him captain the local team. And even when he was vice captain, when Pollard stepped aside, Poor and got the captaincy. So obviously they didn't trust him as a captain, but then I would assume. I mean, he's going to need time to grow in the role. But usually if you're going to be an international captain, you would want some domestic experience behind the name. And there's none there for him. So I understand what you're saying.
He is a good player. We only have hope as a captain is because he is a good one-day.
He makes the team easy.
World-class international.
He's a sure pick.
As a one-day team. But my God, you have 4 bowlers on a side like Netherlands. Respect to the Netherlands because the way how they are playing, they showed character. But aside as West Indies, you have 5 bowlers. Yeah. And there is none of them that you can say who will bowl at a good economy rate. That doesn't make any sense.
True.
Everyone, there is no bowler that in the West Indies as a batsman, you can say, okay, I have to see out this bowler.
Yeah.
All the bowlers you can
attack.
There, guns blazing. That is not acceptable. Which one of the, all right, look at it. Which one of these West Indies player can walk into an Australian A team, India A team?
I mean, what I'm saying, Jake, and is a reason why we are there where we are at, the passion is going to dictate that we say, listen, we should be performing alongside Australia and these guys. But it's a reason why we are playing qualifiers, because we haven't been good. So you're very unlikely you're going to find somebody in a team like this that can walk into a top 2, top 3 teams. Maybe just hope.
The A team, I'm not even talking about like the international team.
The A team. Yeah, it's and then again, as I said, those guys are playing good quality cricket before they reach international cricket. So that is why the transition is so seamless when they come up from A cricket to international cricket. So it's even difficult for some of our players to walk into their A side.
When you have a man like you have a man like KL Rahul in an India side, and if he does not perform for 3 games, there is easily 5 different opener.
Yeah.
Who you can give his spot. I mean, he has to go there and focus and perform because he needs his spot. When you have a man like Jason Hola, who is cementing his place in a West Indies side, it doesn't speak volume of us. And I'm not trying to speak down on Jason Hola because there is work there that Jason Hola did for West Indies cricket that we can. But we need to stop playing players because of past results. We're talking about now.
Why are you preaching my language, man? I don't know if it's because we're from the same place, but you're preaching my language. If a man did well for you in the past, you respect him, but he should be able to find his spot in the team, and it goes for all of them. And that is why I became so unpopular on YouTube. I said the same thing about Chris Gayle, and the whole Chris Gayle army come down after me. We respect all of what you have done. Same thing with the players here, but you need to be able to still come on a spot in the team. So I hear you.
You cannot be in the team and you're scoring as an all-rounder. You score 50 every 20 game, and you are very expensive as an all-rounder. That doesn't make any sense.
All right, Jake, and hold it up, pause it a minute. We're going to Gio and talk, then we go to Winston, and then we come back around again. Yes, Gio.
Okay. The funny part about this, like look at this, right? If you really look at most of the really good ODI teams, right?
Yeah.
You know that most of their players play red ball cricket or play for the test team. Most of their really
Because
good players play for the test team
they are actually
because like
cricketers.
yeah, because for example, right? Because say for example, right? I think one of the problem with West Indies, right, is like because if you really look at it, right? Say for example, right? Say in England, right? Or I think England, Australia, right? So you know that England, right? So if a man is not getting no game time playing the red ball cricket team, playing 4-day cricket, he's playing
Yeah.
second 11, 3-day cricket, developing his game. In the Caribbean, we play too much. We play too much T10 cricket. We play too much T20 cricket. So we don't
Mhm.
really know the basics of it, right? We don't know the basics of it. And then another thing is, if you're a test bowler and you get used to bowling consistently bowling line and lengths. Because the thing about West Indies is one day they will bowl really good next, and then they don't bat good. Then they bat good, then they bowl not really good. Because lots of these players, they're fit, but they're not really like fit to really perform on a tournament basis, like playing like a match every 2 or 3 days. So they lose their consistency, right? So they lose their consistency all the time. And then again with Alzari Joseph, I think one of the reasons why he kind of not perform well, really and truly, I think
He
this is probably the only
performed
game he didn't really
because
perform, right? This don't really game we didn't perform because players been dropping his catches
exactly,
and misfields and
exactly.
stuff like that. And then another thing is like, look at this, right? Say for example, right? If I know that Alzari Joseph is the only bowling threat, I don't. Alzari Joseph got to try his utmost best. He trying to make every ball perfect because he knows that if he doesn't bowl really good, everybody else is just gonna go for runs. So that's the
Yeah.
problem because, say for example, if you're playing Australia, right? If you're playing say Australia and you're playing them in the ODI team or even India, you got to worry about Stark, you got to worry about Cummins, you got to worry about Hazelwood. So it's
Yeah.
like you got to play everybody cautious. West Indies, you can just throw caution against every bowler because you know that, for example, even if you lose a wicket to Australia, somebody else. I mean, to Joseph, you can attack somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely see what you're saying. And I mean, they say fast bowlers hunting peer. And that is why we were so good back when we had the Michael Holding, the Andy Roberts, and these guys. You understand? The Malcolm Marshall, the Joel Garner. Because they were able to hunt in pairs. And when one man is attacking, if the and taking wickets, the next one might not be taking wickets, but he's keeping it tight. That is not what we are getting here. So that is where we're at. All right, Gio, let us hear. Winston, are you there?
Yeah, man. Good
All right,
afternoon.
what say you?
I am good. I am good, man. How are you guys?
Yeah,
I hope,
I'm giving God thanks. I'm good.
bro.
Mhm.
Today, there's not enough adjective to explain how I felt.
Yeah.
It was devastated. I mean, 370 something runs, and we
Hmm.
couldn't defend that. And let me tell you, I was watching. I was doing the watch along with the cricket forum.
Yeah.
And when I saw how the two opening batsmen started to bat, I said to these guys, listen, I think we're in trouble here unless we get some wickets early. But those two opening batsmen set the course.
Hmm.
And what happened is, I think we start to panic, right? What I was surprised about, understandably so, that Hope is a new captain.
Hmm.
But we have Holder, who was a captain. We have Puran, who was a captain. We
Yeah.
we have Rodman. I mean Rovman. Well, Rovman
Right.
would
Yeah.
come on as a substitute. But we had senior players on there, and I didn't see any collaboration between these players, talking strategy.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that, right? And once the other team start dictating the game and taking the game to West Indies, I saw it in them. They started to panic. Sometimes and Pollard would come in and he would hold the ball.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of all of those things are delayed tactics that threw the
Hmm.
batsman off, right?
Yeah.
Now Did I blame Holder for losing
Cooper over.
the last over there?
Mhm.
Not really. You know why? He should have never been given that opportunity to bowl. We
So
have
who
seen
before I go any further, who would you have given it to? It seems as if Azari Joseph couldn't have
no
bowled
no.
based
So
on.
Azari Joseph was spent. Azari Joseph was spent. He just defended 8 runs, bro. It was 8 from 6,
Mm,
right? So we couldn't give it to him. You know what? I would have given that ball to Romario Shepherd.
to who?
Romario Shepherd. Because yes, I would. I would. I would have. I
Mhm.
would have given it to him. Because you know
Yeah.
what? I have seen and Romario Shepherd has blown lead in the IPL. But we have seen this side of performance from Holder on multiple occasions in the IPL,
Mhm.
right? We have seen it on multiple occasions where he get hammered. And once he get hammered for the first 2 balls, it seemed as though his thought process go out of the window.
Mm.
You know, I mean, what about a short ball? What about, I mean, it seemed as though, and this is a lost art,
Mm.
art for the West Indians. They can't seem to bowl Yorkers.
I think he was backing himself to try and get some Yorkers, and they all turned into low full tosses.
Boy, let me tell you. But first and foremost, we shouldn't have gotten there. We should have won this game way early. You see that penultimate over where they give Chase,
Chase. Yeah.
and grant you, Chase bowled well.
Mhm.
Our pace bowlers didn't perform well on this wicket, this game. And
Mhm.
Chase bowled well. But you tell me another team, international team, who will give their spin bowlers the penultimate over, the 19th over. I mean, the 49th over. They don't.
Mm.
They give a pace bowler. In fact, you know what I would have preferred? If they had given Azari the 49th over and give someone else. Because at least Azari wouldn't have given away 19 or 20 runs, leaving 8 runs for the last over.
Mhm.
Right? So the game, not only that, when you talk about in-game strategy, and I understand Hope is a
Yeah, he's
new
gonna
captain.
develop that eventually.
Listen, you have to have game time. You have to be in the trenches to
Mhm.
develop those skills. They're not easy. It's like you being on an exam, bro, and there's after a while you stop thinking. That's the point. Unless you have been in it and you have experienced those situations, then and only then you will know what to do when those situations come up. And they were
Mhm.
lost. And like I said in my opening statement, at that point, when these guys, every ball was 2 runs, bro. Every ball. You know what?
And we fumbled that. We fumbled a whole lot of them out there.
And we fumble it.
Yeah.
Now, I watch Barbarazam. I watch not even what's his name? The guy from India, because
Virat.
he is a little suspect as well. Let me tell you, when it comes to big games, he is suspect. I'm talking
Mm.
about the Indian
Sharma.
captain, um,
Rohit Sharma.
Rod Sharma.
Mm.
He fumble. When you talking about captain, you gotta look at guys like the New Zealand captain. What's his name? Um,
It's no longer Kane Williamson.
well, but Kane Williamson is a hell of a captain. Okay,
Yeah.
and I would trust Kane Williamson in situations like that more than any other captain. You have to also watch this same Australian captain. the
Pat
pace
Cummins?
bowler. Cummins, right? Game situation. Even Ben Stokes now.
I watched
Right?
the
I mean,
Ashes and I watched the first Ashes, and I'm sure Steve Smith was captain in that game.
yeah, but here's something too. Also, if you look at those games, in those games, you got Steve Smith, you got the other opening batsman. What's his name?
David Warner.
Short guy.
Yeah, David Warner.
David Warner. When it comes to decision, these guys all come together and make the right decisions. I didn't see any of that today. I
Yeah.
didn't see that togetherness. And could it be because we are from different countries? We have players from different countries, right?
I don't think that is it, because in the past I've seen the likes of Kyron Pollard and Chris Gale and these guys coming together and strategizing. I think this is an art that he will have to develop. That he will have to develop as he goes along.
He has to develop that. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Who you think made that decision at the end to bowl Holder? You think?
As I said, I think it was a safe decision that Shea Hope went with, and this is my reason for saying this. I saw the debate going on. I am thinking he was asking the umpire if Alzari can bowl again, seeing that he just bowled, and he said
Right.
no. So
Oh,
I personally,
okay.
I didn't have an issue with him going with Jason Holder. So I'm thinking Shea Hope made the call and said, well, I'm going to my more senior bowler. I'm going to the trusted bowler that I've seen it over and over. And I personally didn't have a problem with him doing that.
Let me tell you something. Did Jason Holder got any wicket in this match? No,
I think
right?
he took one wicket.
But all right, look for the series thus far. He has been economical, but he's not a wicket taker. He is
No,
not
but
a
when it
wicket
comes
taker.
down, no, but when it comes down to something like a super over, still, you just answered the question. When it comes down to something like a super over, you are not necessarily looking to take all the 2 wickets, You are looking to be economical there. And I personally have backed Jason Holder to give away 14, 15 runs, and it's just happened in my opinion.
So again, for me, I would have given it to Romario because Romario bowled well. He didn't get any wicket, but he bowled well. Okay?
All right, let me look again. So Jason Holder 1 for 15.
So you got 1 wicket.
Yeah. All right. Hold on, Winston. I'm going to come back around. Let me just go back to the top and hear what Jacob has to say, and then I'll come back to you. And we will have to rush out of here shortly after. Yes, Jacob, finishing remarks. What say you?
Okay, so according to the match and what that person is saying, no disrespect, but I never really catch your name.
Winston.
Winston, I don't think where that is concerned you can bash. You can bash the captain because the captain have to work with what he got. Giving Rastan Chase the over in the context of that match. I watched the match. I'm so sorry I was asleep. I had to go to work very early this morning and I was up very early watching match. And I got no sleep. Anyways, Rastan Chase bowled well. He bowled more economical than our frontline spinner, which is
yes, I agree.
Akil.
Yeah. But I wouldn't have given him the 49th over.
There is nothing wrong with giving Rastan Chase the 49 over in the context of the match.
Of the game, exactly. I didn't like the idea, but when I looked at the fact that we're hunting for a wicket and he had, he was doing his thing, I said, okay, I agree with it. So I get what you're saying in terms of the context. Yeah.
So in the context of giving Jason Holder now, Jason Holder was bowling well as well in the context of that match. So if he couldn't have give Alzari Joseph that super over, and then you have to turn to someone else, it would have to be Jason Holder. He has no other choice because Romario Shepherd didn't bowl well in that match. Kimo Paul didn't bowl well. They were very expensive.
No. Kimo didn't bowl well. Romario, look at Romario's
Romario Shepherd bowled 5 overs for 36 runs. But based on past experience, Romario Shepherd is known to be a little bit expensive in the death over. That is why a lot of people always say they don't want to play him. And some is saying if he plays, let him bowl between, after the first 10 and before the last probably 5 or so.
But well, in the context of the match, he would have to turn to Older if he could not have gone to
Joseph.
to Joseph. So I don't have any problem with those decisions that Shehu made because those were forced upon him.
So what did you think about Shea Hope's in-game adjustments?
But
when these guys were running, every ball was 2 runs. My thing was,
that's my problem now.
Yes, that was a big problem.
I don't think he developed the mindset to get the players together as yet and make and when the team is losing from the plan A point of view and the plan B point of view, what will you do on the field? You have to have captain that can adjust to those types of situations. You understand? And rather than being on the defense and giving the players 2 runs, they're easily getting 12 and 13 and 14 runs per over without
Every ball was like 2 runs. Every ball. True. My thing is, ask your bowlers to bowl to their field. Bring people in so you can cut off those 2 runs, and let them hit over the head. Let them go.
There was no plan. There was no plan to combat what the Dutch guys was doing. Well, this is my
funny enough. The coach after the game said that Shea Hope didn't stick to the plan long enough. So apparently Sammy didn't want him to move from plan A to plan B. So the 1 and 2 tweet that Shea Hope did, apparently Sammy probably didn't want him to move.
Okay,
I don't know. Yeah, finish, Jacob.
I know that we don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to give my finishing remarks.
Yeah,
we already lost the game and we have to find a way how to move forward. The sad truth is, tomorrow, if West Indies is playing a match again, no matter how disappointed I am going to wake up and I am going to watch it because there is, it's just a passion. And
I mean, the same can be said for most of these guys on here.
It is what we can do. I think Desmond Haynes, I don't necessarily need to say Desmond Haynes need to go because I'm not a person like that who quickly to say get rid of Haynes or anything like that. But I think Desmond Haynes need to pay more attention to the public. I don't think this West Indies heads are paying attention to what the Caribbean is saying. They are just doing things based on their opinion and based on what they think. They lock out the public. And they are not picking the best team from the region. It doesn't make any sense for you have a competition back home where you pick players from, and when they perform for a year straight, they don't get a chance in the regional team. And there is person in the regional team who is playing for 1 year straight, for example, with a 20 at average. We cannot score 3 half centuries. People cannot keep don't have good economic rate. It doesn't make any sense. So pick the players that are performing. Give the youths a chance to go out there and express themselves. Most of the people who are performing, for example, look at the spinner that they're going to bring in now for the Ashes. That kid is just 19.
Ahmed.
And they're calling him up. They get rid of Jack Leach, who is there and not.
I mean, in all honesty, still, they didn't have any option. Jack Leach is out injured. Moeen Ali came in and got his finger injured, so he was the only option.
But we don't have any option puts to the bone. If you look at it, we don't have any option right now rather than to try with the youths. We don't have any option. And I think a person like Alric Artanes is more proactive at the crease more than a number 3, more than a
did you see that game Artanes played? How aggressive he was, with the exception of the reverse shot, which he has to put in the back pocket. But the man is aggressive.
They need to start.
Most of our guys are aggressive, So it's not that they are not aggressive, but Alec is an aggressive batsman that can bat and knows how to bat. That is the difference. I'm not saying he's gonna come and fix West Indies cricket. He's an aggressive batsman that knows how to bat. That is the difference between him and some of the other guys.
So
that man should have made his debut
I
from
totally,
South Africa series
totally
how long
agree
ago.
with you there.
Mm.
I totally agree with you. We have two.
You cannot have a player. You cannot have a player who bats at number 3 with no fluency. That is rubbish.
Yes, I agree.
No fluency, no tempo, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I'll call him the cow catch, the cow lasher.
If you should look at the West Indies batting team, only Nicholas Pooran and Shea Hope approach the crease with confidence.
Yeah.
Probably a Brandon King.
Now, if
And
we
I see with Brandon King, he is trying. And that is what I appreciate with Brandon King. Even though
yes,
maybe he does not, he's not where we want him to be, but Brandon King is trying very hard, and I see concentration in Brandon King game, and I would give him a chance.
if we talk, I mean, this series is lost. West Indies is not making it to the World Cup. Let's forget about that. What do you see going forward? Right? I mean, some of these players that are retread, and let me tell you, I didn't think it was a bad team, right? But I was going on name, and I was going on, some of these players here and there make 100 here, a 50 here, but they're not consistent. They're not consistent. And as you said, in terms of pure batting, it's not too many of our players we can put into that category. Okay, you're right. Shea Hope, he's a batsman. Brandon King can bat. You need to learn how to play spin. That's where, and we have the right guy there in what's his name, the assistant coach, to help him, right? But we need people that have the batting fundamentals, right? That can go in there.
Cricket, that's the thing. They're not playing red ball cricket.
Huh?
They are not playing enough red ball cricket to learn how to stand up.
They're not playing enough red ball cricket. That's the key point here. That's the key point, right? And so when I watch guys like Artenes, of course, I watch this guy. What's his name? From Jamaica, young dude that played in the Super 50, that made a 200, I think.
Kurt McKenzie,
right? Those are guys I am looking towards now for the future, right? Let me tell you something. Ravman Powell, the man walk around like Mr. Olympia, but he's not doing shit. And I was wondering if he was rebelling. I don't know why, right? But this guy has lost it. Okay? And Ravman should never play an ODI again. T20, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
ODI, absolutely not. Okay? I rather see us losing with guys like McKenzie, guys like Artenes, the other guy from Guyana that made a 200 or 100.
Nandu.
Nandu is another one, but there's another black guy. Damn, I forgot his name. Anyway, I want to see those young players given a chance. Some of those guys from the academy, right? The academy that beat up some of these other teams in the Super 50. I want to see some of those guys, because you know why? Sports to the bone. These guys are hungry, right? And not only they're hungry. Let me tell you something. It's not like I'm happy what happened with Jason Older. But you remember Jason Older came out and talked this garbage about the assistant coach. Oh, that's their opinion, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If you are on your job and you think your boss is a dunce, most time he's giving a meeting, you're not listening to him. Because in your head, this guy is a dunce. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the same attitude. I think there's some players right now, they are looking at the coach. They may think he didn't have the qualification to be where he is, or Shea Hope, he hasn't coached long enough. So they think that they are better than these guys. So they're not giving them 100% and giving their attention. And to me, that's the problem. There are too many chiefs and not many bottle washers. We need people to be able to follow, okay, and buy into what the coach is saying and what the captain is saying. Also, the captain is a young captain. You know what? You see this game is being taken away. You know what? Jason, gather the guys together. This is what we do. We need to bring the feel in. You, the bowlers, we need to bowl in a certain area. Point them to the let them go in the in the larger part of the field. You know what I mean? If they let's cut out the 2 points or the two.
Before you continue though,
Yeah.
just to ask a question on what you did. Did we win? Did we ask to bowl in the super over? Aren't we the one that chose to bowl to the where we would have the batsman into the shorter part of the ground?
What happened is the team that batted last, they got first preference.
No, but they had the opportunity to say which end they would bowl from, and they selected the end where the batsman would be facing up to the shorter boundary.
Oh, well, that's also.
So things like those, they have to make sure they are seeing these. The senior players have to see these things. I am almost certain that's what happened.
That's a strategy failure.
The senior players need to see these things.
Not only that, people not communicating. I think there was a lot of communication on that field that led to our demise. 377 runs. That's the most West Indies have scored forever. And we lost. Oh my God.
But what I am saying, you guys are saying West Indies lost. You still have to give the Dutchman credit because
we gotta give them some credit. But I think the West Indians are really talking about the how we bowled and how we were.
We lost that match, bro. We lost that match.
I mean, you have games. You have games where you have to take your hat off and say, listen, this one is an associate team. I am a full member, and the associate team outplayed me. I think our performance was rotten today. I agree with Jake, and you have to say shout out to them for staying out there and not hitting all the balls in the air and getting out. But I think it was rotten, man. Seeing the guys putting on some simple catches. Jake, even back in school in PE days, we can't drop about some easy dolly something the man him drop. Easy stuff.
No, that catch that Rahman dropped with the guy that made 100 and something. I don't know if it might have made a difference at that point in the game because these guys had already taken the momentum, right?
Yeah.
But that catch should have been taken. That was an easy catch.
That's why I'm thinking Rahman Powell's confidence is down, his demeanor, everything, because I have been saying it from the start of this program, 9.5 times out of 10 prior to this little
he would have taken that catch.
Rahman, if you ask me who I want under the ball there, I would have said Rahman Powell.
Yes.
It just shows that the confidence is down. Everything is just timid. They are not trusting themselves. A man pop up a dolly to Jason Hall and he did like this and dropped the ball. Good thing he affected the run out. It's just...
Yes. Now, let me ask you another question. Do we have a psychiatrist, a psychologist on the team?
I don't know if it travels with the team, but there should be one attached to CWI, I would assume.
Oh, boy, we need one desperately.
At this point, sports to the bone, I can safely say the guys are just... Some of the guys, they are just not good enough. Scrap this psychology thing and whatever the case. Give the young guys that are playing good cricket in the regional that we say we are selecting the team from. Once they perform, give them the chance out there. You know how much a Sinclair would take a wicket and do.
Oh my God!
Today, huh?
Yes.
Think about it. The passion. This man just wants to take a wicket to celebrate.
Yes.
So he bowls for a wicket. You know how much Alec Artanes would have wanted to cement his place in at that number 3 position. He would have made sure that he got a score today. You understand what I am saying? So I don't think, I think Jason, I don't think it has nothing to do with confidence. If you're coming up against a side like
All you
the
need to do is look at
Netherlands.
the averages, man. Just look at the chart. It is there in a Jake, and just look at the bio. Go and Google. I'm telling everybody, go and Google and look at the bio for the players. Is there a reason why they are performing like this, you know?
Yes, yes. They're performing every 10 games. They come up with a score
That's
When I
not
to
good
keep them in
enough.
the team. That's
That's
not good enough.
not good
when I
enough.
say these things,
Yes.
people say I'm fighting against the players. It's because it's a reason why they perform like this. It's a reason. It's a reason why Marnus Machine, Steve Smith, and these guys perform like this, and it's a reason we perform like that.
Yes.
It's
Because
not a one-off thing.
look at Pujara. Look at the amount of work Pujara put in for India. And look, they kicked
They
him.
drop
to
him.
the curb.
They drop Pujara. Pujara not
They
coming to
drop
the
him.
Caribbean.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is
Now-
this is why I am saying that 3 games, if you cannot perform in one of 3 games, you should lose your space to somebody who can perform.
I
And
agree.
and this is West Indies, and this is the things that are, it may sound a bit harsh, but this is the things that is going to tighten us. Can you imagine a man knowing that, okay, if I ducks in 3 games, that's it for me. I'm going back to the region. Come on. You think the
You see,
mindset
and
will be different?
the thing is, and that is why we want the regional cricket to be to be more competitive. Because I don't know how many of you guys saw the interview that I did with Jimmy Adams last year. And what the man said is the last tour that he went on, he said the last tour he went on, and when he failed a couple of times, he decided that, listen, it's not only because of age, he decided that, listen, I am going to pack this up now because I am not going to get a chance again based on the guys that are behind me waiting. So we want the regional cricketers to be firing. So when these guys fail, as you are saying, Jake, and in 3-4 games, they are out. Jimmy Adams, the man, said on the program here that, listen, he would have done work for West Indies prior to that, but after that miserable tour, the guys waiting in the wings, it would have been a long cycle to come back around. The first thing I think, I am not convinced that Desmond Haynes watches a lot of our local cricket. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. Maybe it's because he doesn't speak a lot like how I would hear Ian Bishop speaking. When I hear Ian Bishop speaking, you know the man knows who is coming through the academy, knows the players coming from under 19, he knows everything. I don't see these people like they know what is going on. I don't think they know what is going on. Before I continue, the first thing that they need to do, these selectors that like to travel to go to games, when we have international games overseas and they start travel to go to the games, the selectors must stay home and follow the game on the TV and circle the regional games that are playing and look at the players. But they like to go and hook up in hotels and watch the international team. That don't make any sense.
They're getting free food and they're traveling for free.
They need to stop the foolishness. It's the same thing the Jamaica Football Federation people love to do. They need to stay home and watch the local players who is coming through next and leave the people where you select already and monitor what they're doing. They need to stop the foolishness.
All right, sports to the bone. Sports to the bone. One thing also, I think that what's it called again? Like back to this World Cup failure. If you look at the other team's preparation against us, remember, you know, Sri Lanka was playing against Ireland and they play against Afghanistan, and those players was getting game time, repping for games. Zimbabwe was playing against Pakistan A team or whatever. I'm saying all the other teams, they've been prepping for months for this. You know what I mean? Remember, I know West Indies, we never have a coach until probably a month ago.
Yeah,
so it's like you just get,
and, you know.
Yeah, and guess what? It's not even the coach pick the side, because you can tell in Sammy's face that he's basically saying that I didn't pick the side.
Yeah, but that's his job, though, and he has to do with what is given to him. You know, he has to just make it.
All of these are just excuses to the level that these are players. Most of these players in the West Indies side, maybe a few of them, the Jason Waller, there's a couple other guys who have been around the world playing franchise cricket. They should be playing at a higher level than this. Most of these players in the West Indies side are even more exposed than the Sri Lankan.
I agree.
So they should be playing better cricket. It's just the guys are not performing. I think the era of the Jason Holder, those guys need to be sent back to the giant board. The younger guys need to come and show them up, because they are too comfortable. They are in the team for 2, 3, 4 years, 2 half centuries, 1 5 wicket haul. That's not good enough for 4 years. That's not good enough for 3 years.
That's
I
on
mean,
point.
a baby could be born and start speaking, start spelling big words, and you're still there in the team not performing. And you're posting every day and you're bashing people when they talk the truth.
Yep.
Rubbish.
Yep.
Nonsense.
No,
But
Listen, this
but
is
if you think about it, part of the reason why is because look at this, right? Part of the reason why is look at this, right? Right. If a man don't perform in the West Indies, who's going to replace him?
of
You know what I
course
mean?
we have
Because
players. We have
no,
players can replace
there are
them.
players to replace them. They're not getting picked.
That's
okay,
These
all
players
right,
are not
okay, all
getting
right,
a chance.
give
okay,
the
okay.
youth,
Hold on
give
one
the youth.
second, hold on one second, right? I understand you say you have players, right? But can any of y'all give me a player? Can any of y'all give me a top a batting lineup that's gonna replace them? Because remember, now, Kirk McKenzie, like even though he performed good in the eighth Warner, remember now, he was garbage doing the Super 50, and he
Yeah,
was
that's true.
garbage doing the regional T20 competition. And remember now, Atanes hit the 2 half century in the list there, then he just fade out after that. So a lot of these players that were
Two
hyping
what?
up,
Two
no,
half
no, I'm saying
centuries.
no, 2 centuries, then he fade after that.
Plus, he didn't. I mean, he did pretty strong, but he's from last year's putting in the performances, and
Yes, yes, yes.
even in the red ball cricket, he made a couple of centuries.
Yeah,
You understand?
but
So you
I'm
have to reward it. Gio, I understand what you're saying. You're going to say that the competition below is not strong enough, and it needs to be stronger. And anybody watching the cricket can understand that. But there are at least 2 or 3 players right now that I think for the India tour we need to give a look at. You are definitely correct, Gio, in saying that the competition below the regional cricket is not strong. But there are 1 or 2 guys that they did what was asked of them and were not selected, and people that did nothing were selected, to put it bluntly.
yes,
That's
yes.
what they're saying. And I'm not saying you should drop the entire team, but there is like 4 or 3 guys out there who put in the work at the regional level who deserve to be playing in Zimbabwe over these players. And I think those guys would have performed better than a Jason Waller, a Rastan Chase, what's
Rastan,
somebody?
oh, hold
Rasta
on.
Chase
I
played
mean,
well
Rastan Chase
this
played
season.
well.
Yes, he
Rastan Chase
played
yeah,
played
I
well.
well.
mean, I will be the first one to stand up and say, listen, Rastan Chase did not earn his way in the team. He got a chance,
But
and I said this at the beginning. If you don't earn your way now, you get a chance and you play, I wanted to perform. And in all honesty, he didn't play too bad. He got a 55 that saw us across the line, took 3 wickets, got a
You
44,
got two fifties.
3 wickets today.
No,
yes,
It wasn't too
Rasta
bad. He
Chase
didn't
has
earn his
performed.
spot in the team. So I can understand the gripe. He didn't earn his spot. He got the opportunity, and I would say he played okay.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
but hold
am
on.
to say, listen,
But
I
Yeah,
did not watch and
when Rastan Chase is batting, there is no fluency. There is no tempo to a Rastan Chase innings. And you cannot guarantee that Rastan Chase is going to give you 10 full overs. There is no one in the Caribbean who can put their head on the block and say, okay, Rastan Chase is going to give us a solid 50 over game. And
yes,
these
okay.
type of
I
players,
doubted
Okay,
one.
but quick question.
Yeah.
Right? Quick question. Rasta, right. I'm one of the sports little bone probably know this. I'm one of the defenders that does not want Rasta and Chase in the team. But all I can say is that the only time the Rasta and Chase actually performed bad was when he bowled the 49th over. Because the entire tournament, like you said, he hit a couple 50s and he was taking a lot of wickets. He got the breakthrough against Netherlands and he was getting breakthrough against Zimbabwe and all that stuff. He actually was performing really well. He just put in a
I
bad
have no
situation.
problem with Rustin Chase. In fact,
I
Rustin
mean,
Chase has bowled better than Hussein
yes,
in this
in
series.
you see,
today's
I
game.
agree. I understand the 2 points. What Jake is saying is you cannot put your head on the block, and you can't do that for most of the players, anyways. You understand? But in terms of
90%
what
of the players
happened
you can.
during the games, it's not a vintage performance, but he was okay in my opinion. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
closing remarks from each person. Going from Gio, then Winston, then Jake, and we're gonna have to run out of here. Yes, Gio.
All I'm saying is that upcoming. All I'm saying that is coming up. What West Indies should do, we should try organize a tour when India bring their team. Just get a tour to get our academy guys some game time to play, and also speaking, and also I'm gonna just answer a couple questions, right? So in the Super 50, right? That's supposed to be the competition to choose the time, right?
Yeah.
The best batsman from the Super 50, really and truly, if you look at it, the only batsman that was the best batsman that reason was picked was Atenes. Because remember, Robman Pauli score runs, King Core score runs, Brooks
Yeah.
score runs, and Puran score runs, and Hope score runs. And the leading bowlers was Azari Joseph was taking a decent amount of wickets. Kimo Power was taking a decent amount of wickets. Hussein was taking a decent amount of wickets. Rastan Chase was performing real good in Super 50. So you can't really beg them from that, right? The only thing I would say I would disagree with them is that they never picked like a Scargan. They never picked the guy from Trinidad, but because he probably break down too much. And West
Oh,
Indies,
Shannon Gabriel.
yeah. Remember, he was one of the leading wicket takers in the Super 50. Going by the Super 50, he was one of the leading wicket takers for the Super 50. That player from Jamaica, he was one of the good players too. So I'm saying like this is the like if we really got to admit it, the only thing we can do is probably change one or two things because obviously the players. I just come to realization. West Indies, we're not good. We just need to rebuild from the beginning.
All right, G, I hear you. Just to add two things to what you said. So a couple of players that I'm looking forward to seeing coming through next. In terms of the batting, I'm going to be watching them in the CPA contract. But for OD&T and Test, the guy that we were speaking of earlier from Guyana, I think it's Kevlin Anderson. Hopefully he can
Yes,
settle down
Kevlin
and start.
Anderson. He's a batsman. Kevlin Anderson.
Yeah, hopefully he can settle down and score some more runs. We're looking for Matthew Nando. Artanes is still there. And we're also looking for Kurt McKenzie to do his thing. There are two other guys that were good in region in under 9. Hopefully they will come through. Teddy Bishop and someone just typed his name and it slipped me again. There's another guy.
Teddy Bishop. We have this other guy.
I will remember before I go. But in the meantime, Winston, closing remarks.
All right. So for me, I am looking forward right now because I think these players we have are tired. They also, to me, they are egomaniacs. And because they have big ego, I think they are not playing. There's no unity. There's no togetherness.
Yeah.
They're not, collaborating on the field to bring a positive result. So I'm looking towards the future. Now, one of our things that no one has to teach you this, but fielding is something every team can be good at.
Yeah.
But fielding is an effort thing.
Yeah.
And I see with the West Indies, that effort is not put forth 40 or 50 over in a match. At some point you see it, but then all of a sudden you look at the body language and you're like, oh, damn, right? Now, is this because of tiredness or are they long in the tooth? I don't know. But fielding, and maybe we need to put more emphasis on fitness. Now, fitness is not only looking at a person's body type. Because look at Rodman. Rodman looked like a muscle man, man. He looked like he is fit, but he's not playing like it. Now, on the contrary, and I know a lot of people may think, you watch Hetmeyer. He's out of shape as ever. But even in the IPL, when a catch go to him, he's taking it.
Not only that, Winston. Not only that. He's one of the best outfielders. He patrols the boundary. He runs around the boundary. He does everything. I am one of the first one to call him out. There are certain things that he needs to straighten out with CWI. But I will also be one of the first one to say, listen, that man is fitter than more than a lot of who we have in the team.
More than half the team. I watched that guy in the IPL, and he parade the boundary, and nothing is passing him, and he's throwing his body down, and he's blocking the balls. Right? I watch people run for balls in this series against the Netherlands, and they're allowing the ball to go to the fence instead of that throwing their body to, because 1 or 2 runs matter, and it shows today. Right? So I think whatever is irking Hetmeyer, he need to come out and give an apology to the Caribbean people, right? Whatever he did, we are forgiving people. He need to come out and say, listen, XYZ, I apologize, and I'm ready to play. Because if you look at it, we talk about pure batsmen. He's in that group of pure batsmen. He can sometimes he go cow lashing. Sometimes he loses his head, but the batter can bat. He is one of them that we need in this team. Not only he's going to give you some runs, he's going to give you 100% in the field. Now, there's also another guy. One more last thing. There's a Barbadian guy, young dude. I think his name is Simmons, right? He bowled kind of. He was in the Super 50. He was in the Super 50 when he knocked off, I think, Atenes, and he went after him. Simmons, I think, is his name.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, he is one. I like his attitude. He is a fighter. Okay. He go after you. We want someone to match Azari's intensity. We lack that in our team, right? Now, a guy, if he can keep his action good, that has the pace, is this guy that they banned him and he came back.
Ransford Beaton is not young, you know. Ransford Beaton is maybe 32, 33. Someone look it up. Ransford Beaton is not young.
He's not young, but I think he's just as fast as McAllister.
He's not slow. He's not slow. He's not slow. I'm just worried about.
He's a fast, and not only that, he's nasty, and we need some nasty people in West Indies, right?
Yeah.
Who can go after guys. We need some nasty guys, man. No, I heard there is another Kirk who is supposedly really fast, playing in the under 19.
Who?
Not Kirk McKenzie. Something. Damn. But we need to give those. Not only that, you might not like it, Sports to the Bone, but we need to spend some money on Ocean Thomas. Get him back in the gym. Get him a trainer, because he's one of our out-and-out fast bowler, man.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't teach pace. You cannot teach pace.
Can't teach professionalism either.
Well, yeah. I think he lacks some gray matter. Yeah. Yeah, that's my point.
All right, Winston. Thank you. The guy that I was trying to remember is Kimani Millenius. I think he's
Millenius. But you see, Millenius, he like to hit the ball up in the air.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to settle down and start scoring runs.
They were
pushing him. I actually have a video for Shane Thomas. You know, you guys going. I'm going to post that video one of these days, and you'll see if he's bigger or he's slimmer or what is happening.
I hope he comes back.
You have the pleasure of posing for us.
Because that boy, he was fast. He is fast, but he can't bowl 5 over straight. He blowing like a horse, you know.
All right, Winston, you're still there, Jacon?
Yeah, still here. Just waiting until Winston wrap up.
All right, closing remarks.
All right, I have 7 quick points. They won't be long, not because it's 7. It's 7 quick points. So number 1, the regional competition. The regional competition needs to be more competitive. Things needs to be put in place that these are more competitive. If it's even to get overseas people to assist, the way they better game planning, better management, better everything. But the regional competition needs to be more competitive. That when the players go to the international scene, they can compete flawlessly. So that is number 1. Development. I don't think there is no development. My second point is development in the cricket. Development in coaching, in captaincy. You don't want to. You see a man and he's consistent in batting. You know, okay, I'm going to develop this man into a proper captain because he's consistent in batting. You see, a special all rounder, okay, we're going to develop this man into a proper captain, into a proper team player, into somebody who can get the team together, who can gel, proper coaching. Bashing Darren Sammy, I think Darren Sammy is a good person for the job, but at this point in time, Darren Sammy needs to show results. That's the only thing we judge of, results. So you cannot only blame the players and whatever is going on. You are given the job to get these bunch of players on a level. So there needs to be development in the coaching system. There needs to be development where everything takes place in West Indies cricket. The way how these guys carry themselves, the way how these guys talk. If you realize, for example, the Indian players and the Australian and the British player, they cannot say certain things in the media. West Indies players just get up and put up things. So there is not a level of professionalism to a large extent. Rule selectors. I think there should be a pool of selectors. There shouldn't be one selectors. To be honest, you should have like primary selectors.
We have them with one lead selector.
We have three of them, but we only hearing from Desmond. We only hearing from Desmond Ince. So we need selector that is out here scouting new players. If you look again, I'm making reference to the greater cricket nation because they are doing well, and we have to look and take from what they are doing to enhance our cricket, because that's the only way we're going to go far. Sometimes you just see some people burst on the scene from nowhere because these people go and scout them from in the country and say, no man, it doesn't matter how much cricket you play, you have the technicality and you have the ability to play, come. And they bring them and it works. Sometimes it works. I never used to hear about a Travis Head. I before Travis Head played for Australia, I never used to hear nothing about a Travis Head coming through no ranks nor nothing like that, you know. But they saw him and know that this guy is a world class, and see they're speaking. Number 3, tactical development. Oh Jesus Christ. These players can you imagine we have like 6 specialist batsmen and only 2 can confidently. That is a big problem. That is a big problem. We have 5 specialist bowlers and none of them can maintain like a 5 per over economic rate. That is not good enough in international cricket. No, too much allowance. Too much allowance is to fail. A man failed 10 match and he's still confident of reclaiming his spot in the team. Too much. There is, I mean, talent or whatever the case might be, but give the youngsters a chance. Let these players know that if they are not performing, they will lose their spots, and that will play on their mind to lift their game tempo. Numbers, politics, oh gosh, man, we need to get rid of the politics in the cricket because that is holding down the cricket. Whatever is keeping Edmire from not playing, whatever is keeping the other players from not playing, they need to get rid of the politics and ensure, because what I understand, the people who are leading the cricket, they are not feeling the pain as we who is supporting it, because I can guarantee you that Desmond Haynes didn't get up this morning and watch this match. I can tell you that, and a lot of Caribbean fans lose their sleep to wake up early.
He's in Zimbabwe, man. He's there.
To a lot of people.
Didn't you see him on the TV in the background?
Yeah, he's there. He's in Zimbabwe, bro.
That man should be in the Caribbean right now. But
what is he there doing?
Jason, finish up.
What is he there doing? We need to get rid of the politics. And number 7 and last, we need to pick the guys that are performing. There is nowhere you can have a regional competition and then you're going to say, okay, this is the platform from which we are going to select these guys to play. And when these guys have 1,000 and so much 50 and good economic rate and a lot of wickets, you don't pick them. So what are you trying to say? These guys are not They are fit enough to play our regional competition, but they are not fit enough to play international cricket for us. That is nonsense. The same amount of rules and regulation and strategies that we used to run the regional cricket. That's the same thing we should be using. We should be abiding by the ICC code of conduct, and so it doesn't make any sense when a man perform in the regional team. Then you're gonna say, boy, you're not fit enough to play for West Indies. That's a joke. That is a
I
joke,
mean,
and you
there are
have
the
man
ones that say
team
that
who
they
is not
selected the team
performing better
from
than
the
him.
regional, and
I have one more thing. Did you hear Sports to the Bone that uh, Cricket West Indies officials are the highest paid board or group in the ICC? Is that true?
I wouldn't be able to speak of it. I haven't heard anything where that is. I would have to
Yes.
look into it. But I haven't
In
heard
fact,
anything.
the guy from the Cricket Forum, he said that they're the highest paid.
I mean, I
Oh,
am not sure.
I don't know. I don't have any evidence to support it, so I'm not sure.
Words to the bone. I'm not even focused on who is getting high paid or what. I
Mm.
just need the guys to do what is necessary and what is important to ensure that the team perform. I don't care who is getting high pay. That's not my issue. Do what you're supposed to do to ensure that the teams perform, because there's a lot of people like me and you who is watching the cricket and who is rooting for the region, and days in, days out, we are very disappointed. Even though
Exactly.
we are optimistic sometimes, somewhere in the front, not even in the back of our head, somewhere in the front of our forehead, we know that West Indies are going to lose.
That is true. All right, Jacob. Precise as usual. Winston, what else we had on? Jacob, Winston, Gio. We had Marlon earlier. Thank you all for coming on today and having a little chat with us. No, most of you guys are feeling the pain right now based on what happened earlier today. But I appreciate you guys coming on as I exit you guys off the thing. But I appreciate you guys coming on and having a chat with us. For all the wonderful people in the comments that was there typing up, I appreciate you all for coming on and doing that. Shout out to you all and just continue to stay strong. Once again, Jaycon, man, it was refreshing seeing and hearing your voice. Being a while. As I said, guys, we did what, 5 years in high school together. Haven't seen Jaycon in a while. It was refreshing hearing your voice. But that's it, guys. Big up on yourself. I will touch base again tomorrow. Blessings.